Hi, Don. And hey, everybody out there. I'm Amanda with DevExpress. Don, it has been forever. How are you doing?
Hey Amanda, I'm doing very well and obviously counting down for Christmas.
Oh, yes, holiday season. I see you have a little something special behind you there. You want to show us what's going
Yes,
on?
as a matter of fact, I do have a little X-Wing which is completely styled in Christmas.
Oh my God. So
You see, it
it's a
doesn't have the
Christmas
blasters on the
X-Wing?
tip. This is a Star Wars X-Wing from
Wow.
Santa. And it
Wow.
even has the very little Yoda. It's not the baby Yoda guy, but it is like Yoda in a Santa sweater.
Oh, that is so cute. Happy holidays, Yoda.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So
I
yeah,
know I have a little Santa hat in my background. It's about as
I see that as well. Okay, now I
so.
should
I
get
mean,
it back in.
if you can see it in out there, I don't know, but Don can see it. Um, yes, it is
But yeah,
almost. We are definitely in the holiday season, and today we're bringing you some holiday blazer, right, Don? You want to tell everybody what you're doing?
absolutely. Because another thing that is all about Christmas is our 24.2 release
That's
that will be
right.
coming
Just
out
in time for
anywhere.
the stocking stuffer.
That is brilliant. Yep, exactly.
24.2.
All right. Yeah. So I have installed 24.2 beta, and you might be aware that is out. You can download it yourself as well as an
Right, right.
existing customer. And one of the things that we talked about in the last stream was another 24.2 feature, which is our AI powered controls. But in this one, I'd like to touch on the project template that comes with Blazor. Right? We have a very nice project template, and we have something else coming up as well, which all involves project templates. So that's what we're going to talk about. Yeah, let's get started. In this case, I have opened up Visual Studio and I'm going to create a new project. And what we already see here is that we have the DevExpress 24.2 Blazor app template gallery.
Nice.
So let's hit next. Well, we can give it a name. And now what we're going to get is a very nice project template. What you'll see is the type of Blazor application that we can do. So we have a Blazor common application, which is like the standard Blazor server or Blazor WebAssembly or the mixed mode.
Okay.
And then we have a couple of other things here as well, like the XAF solution wizard. I think we've talked about it as well, or didn't we?
The XAF Solution Wizard? I don't know, Don, actually. You want to give us just a
Yeah.
brief?
Well, XAF in a nutshell, I mean, we can spend
No, I know.
streams on that. I
Spend
mean, that
days and
is,
days.
oh, weeks, easily. Yeah. No, I mean, XCF is obviously our Express application framework, which allows you to set up enterprise grade applications quite easy once you get to know the framework, and it will do a lot of things for you. And the client portion of it is running as a Blazor client or as a WinForms client. So you
Hmm.
can actually pick whether you want to have a web client or a desktop client. But with
Okay.
this, you can also use that project template as well.
Cool.
Then we have the Blazor BI dashboard. Well, this is obviously a very powerful control that we have to give your end users the possibilities to create their own dashboards based on the data that you provide. And we have that in a WebAssembly hosted dashboard application as well. And yeah, a couple of other things that we have is the reporting, obviously. Did we do something about reporting, Amanda?
I'm sure we have.
Yeah, I think we did a little, but I think AREC is doing a lot of
ARC
reporting.
did a lot of reporting. Yes.
Yeah. So let's keep the reporting with AREC, and we'll go over to other stuff.
Yeah.
So in this case, I will just touch base with the Blazor common, the standard Blazor application. And as you can see on the right side, you can pick your .NET version. And in this case, we are already supporting .NET 9, which is just been released. The render mode, you can specify that of being auto, server, or WebAssembly, but I'll put it on. Let's put it on server. And then the authentication, and this is something that we didn't talk about yet. Blazor applications and authentication and authorization, but this is something that we should spend some more time on as well. So in this case, I'm going to set it up with individual accounts and run the wizard. So application is loading up, and we can specify a couple of other things here. So we have the Blazor themes that all of our controls support. Which one do you like?
I'm always up into the blazing berry.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We'll go for the blazing berry. We actually talked about the theming and how you could actually switch from light to dark themes. We did that right in the beginning. And then we have a couple of things here, like the component size mode, which is by default set to medium. And maybe we want to do something with the rich editor. So, well, you know what? Let's just set that to true.
Why not?
And now the application is being scaffolded. And yeah, let's see what's been created.
And right now, Don, this is using 24.2.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. And you can actually see that
right
here.
there.
Yeah. So here it is. What you also notice is that Microsoft Entity Framework is being included as well. You see? And that is obviously necessary for the authorization and authentication. We put that to individual accounts. And that means that there is a database involved in your application which will store your users and your roles and your passwords and whatever is necessary for the authentication.
Right.
So if we now check the program CS file, what we'll see is that there is some code being generated here, and concerning identity and authentication, we have a couple of things here that are necessary for that. So the cascading authentication state, for instance. We also need to enable this add authentication with some settings here and a connection string to our local SQL server in this case. And together with the configuration of the entity framework, we can also configure the identity system that comes with .NET to use that particular database connection, etc., etc. And this is all necessary to configure, authentication and authorization.
Okay.
For the rest, I think this is pretty much it. And what we can do now is obviously run the application. Let's do that. And there is one thing that I do need to do, and that is we need to initialize the database as supposed to with Entity Framework. So we need to do an update database out of my head. So in this case, what you'll see is our project template running. Looks pretty cool. And also if we hit the little hamburger menu, that thing will slide out.
Go away.
You see? one of our new controls, or our more recent controls.
Cool.
Yeah, and here, well, obviously the counter, the famous counter, and I think if I go to settings, it will redirect me. And this is something which I like quite a lot, because this settings page, you will need to be authenticated to the system. And because we didn't sign up for this site or whatever, it will redirect us to the login page. And this login page is generated with DevExpress Blazor controls. So as you can see, it is styled perfectly with the Blazing Berry theme.
Yeah.
If you would have picked another one, it would have been styled in that way.
Nice.
And so obviously now we need to register, and what will happen now, I can show you. If I create an account, and I will call that at devexpress.com. I'll give it a really strong password. And now I will get an error because the database was not initialized. You see?
A
And this
database
is
operation failed.
Yeah, this is a typical entity framework error. If you have like an empty database, what we'll need to do is, it actually states it here. We need to do this. I think I could also hit this button, but let's just go this way. So if I now go back to Visual Studio and I go to the Package Manager console, I can now do update database. And now you'll see a bunch of SQL being executed at the server to create a bunch of tables. And with this in place, you can also see that it has already stored my account. You see, so if I now go to the settings page again, I can log in. With my password.
Nice.
And as you can see, because I only checked that thing individual accounts in the project template, it is giving me all these nice views and pages to manage my profile. I can set my phone number if I want to, again with a DevExpress mask control. I can change my email address, change my password. You see, everything full DevExpress look and feel. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, looks nice. So Don, I had just a quick question. So that the DevExpress logo, is that something that is changeable? Does that come in the template?
Yeah, of course you can change that. It is part of the template. So any new project that you'll generate with our project template, it will look like this, and it will include the DevExpress logo. But it is quite easy to change that to your own logo.
Okay.
So let's have a look at the solution here. So if I would go to the components folder and then to the layout, there is a main layout.razor. And what you'll see is the drawer header. And that drawer header is bound to a variable, which is a render fragment. If I scroll down here, we'll have that drawer header here. And as I mentioned, it's a render fragment, so there is just some HTML being rendered in. And right here, it gives you the DevExpress logo.
Ah, okay.
It also says it in the alt text DevExpress logo. So if you change, you only need to change it on one place, and then it's changed over in the entire application. So that's quite simple and straightforward.
Cool.
Yeah, so same goes with the links. There are a couple of links here, for instance, the docs and the demos. Well, if you go to this one, you can actually see that it's being navigating to the devexpress.com site. So again, that's in the footer section here. So you can change that as well.
Nice.
All right. So, but yeah, one of the other things I'd like to point out here is, well, you have seen all those screens, like the login screen, the registration page, profile page, all that stuff. That is all being scaffolded in this accounts folder. And right here in the pages section, what we've done is we've rendered out that entire, all those forms for you. And so this is typically everything that is needed. It's not really exciting. I mean, it's just an edit form with a DX form layout, but it's just a lot of work. So it saves you
time.
Exactly. And you can change it according to your needs. So there is even some code in here which does the validation. Very straightforward. All of those forms have like an input model to deal with the data. So this input model has an email, a password, and a remember me. And that is just bound. If we go back here to these items here, you see?
Sorry, but does that remember me actually work? I feel like every website I'm ever on and I click remember me, it never remembers me.
That is a very interesting question. I mean, we can test it, and if it fails, we can just say, hey, but this is the beta version, right?
Right.
And we can still make it work, probably. So let's give it a try.
Do you know what I'm saying, though? Like, especially on Microsoft,
yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, remember me?
It doesn't want to. No,
it doesn't want to. I feel it's almost offensive. I take it personally. I'm that forgettable, even when I click the box.
I know what you mean, but
are you sure?
Don't you have like a password tool?
Girl, is it really you? We're gonna make you do multiple.
All right, so
not only do I not remember you, I'm gonna sign you out and make you sign me.
Well, I have just signed myself out here, so I'm gonna sign myself back in and
remember me? Question mark.
Oh yeah, this is actually, it is the question mark, does it? Yeah.
That's funny.
All right, well.
Can we change that to an exclamation point?
Yeah, we could put like an emoji in.
Sorry to derail this, but
yeah.
We're
right on track because I'm logged in now, I think. I hope. Yeah, I'm logged on.
Okay.
I'll quit this site. And I'm gonna boot it up again.
Ooh, fingers crossed.
And I'm gonna go to settings. Huh. I'm still logged in. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Let's if I do this, I can say log out. Let's try again. I did log out now, so it's
I see log in.
I have to do it again. Yeah, no, it works. You noticed it? I went to settings. It gets me forwarded to the login page. I'll log in. And now I'll hit the box. And I'm at the settings now. So I close down my browser. And I'll do it again. And now I don't need to log in. So the checkbox works.
Wow. Very impressive.
I know.
I mean, seriously. Oh, love that.
Yeah, so that appears to work.
Okay.
So this is typical. Well, you saw me playing around with this hamburger menu, obviously, and you'll see some stuff appear and disappear. You saw that if I collapse the hamburger menu, you'll have the logout button.
Right.
And yeah, it's just a very efficient and nice project template, including authentication and authorization. And also, yeah, this settings page, you need to be logged in for that. So let's have a quick check on how that was set up. So here we have that menu, which has the items on the left side, and this is the settings one. If we navigate to the settings link, we'll get to the account/manage. So if I go to the account/manage, we'll end up at the index.razor. And the index.razor here doesn't have anything which states that you should be authorized or whatsoever. But because all of these pages, the two-factor authentication, the set password, etc., they all are including the imports.razor file. So what we've done is we have inserted the authorized attribute in this particular imports.razor file, and that makes sure that every page that's being requested, you need to be authorized for that. And that is exactly what you saw. So when we go to settings and we're not logged on, you'll be redirected to the login page. So standard Microsoft way of dealing with authentication and authorization. Very simple to set up and very simple to get started with.
Cool.
Yeah, so yeah, that is something that I wanted to show, and obviously these components, let's quickly go back, because these components, they will work in either Blazor server or Blazor WebAssembly or Blazor auto render mode. So all of our components work in all the Blazor render modes, which is obviously great for you to know, I'd say. So yeah, this is in a nutshell our project template and how to set up authentication and authorization. We do have another thing which is already available to download, but it is kind of new, which is a bit of a newer version of our project template. And this is something which will not come in 24.2, but it will probably be available in 15.1. Do you want to take a look at that as well? What did I say? 15. No, Blazor was not even there yet. I love that. Yeah.
So wait, so it's not, it won't be available in 24.2, but you can show it to us. That's what you're saying.
Yes, and you can test it out as well. It will probably be available in 25.1.
Okay.
So
let's see it.
Yeah, and this is probably our next level tablet gallery. Yeah, so this is available on the marketplace in Visual Studio, and it's got a bit of a description, but it's obviously way cooler to show it. So what you'll need to do is you'll need to download it. It's a V6 file, so you can install that, and it will be integrated inside Visual Studio. I have already done that, and I've installed it as well. And you already saw it somehow in the beginning, I guess. So let's take a look at it. So if I would create a new file or a new project, this is the one that I used before. So the DevExpress Blazor app template gallery. But what you see is the DevExpress 24.2 template kit. And this is something which is, yeah, probably like alpha or maybe somehow beta. It's not done yet, but it is still worth checking out. So that's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
This gives you a couple of more features. So let me create this one. And now it will set up the project. And this is something new. And we can do a couple of cool things here. So we have the Blazor. And it is now, and this is a cool thing as well, as you can see, it is downloading those templates online. So whenever we have something new, it can be updated without like reinstalling this stuff, because it's fetching those templates online. And so this is something that we've seen before, the Blazor application, but we can also go, for instance, to let's have a look at WinForms, for instance. And you might think like WinForms. Well, it's actually quite cool because it is now fetching a bunch of templates for WinForms applications. And as you can see again, it is quite different from what we've seen so far. And what is also interesting is that we already have hybrid templates for Blazor hybrid on WinForms. You see?
Mm-hmm.
And we have that same for .NET MAUI as well. We won't go too much into MAUI because Auric has done quite a bunch of work on the MAUI development as well. But here we have some other interesting things for MAUI, and as you can see, there is a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And also, yeah, we can go to the ASP.NET Core. And again, we'll have a whole bunch of options here. And the cool thing is that we can update those project templates or release new project templates whenever we want. And they will be downloaded in this project, in this template gallery.
Huh.
So here, for instance, we can do a Blazor hybrid WinForms, and or we can have a shared WinForms and .NET MAUI application. There is a whole bunch of stuff in here, you see. So this is actually quite cool. And now let's, I did .NET 8. Well, it doesn't matter. So what we'll do now is I've created a WinForms application that will run Blazor components inside the Windows application. Yeah, so if I would run this, so here we have our WinForms application. What you see being rendered inside is a Blazor data grid that runs right inside your WinForms application.
Huh.
And so this is something which I think is quite cool. And if you want to know how we set this up, well, I've talked about this not on this on our video stream, but I did do a couple of sessions on this particular material. So in a nutshell, we have a Blazor control that is just rendering out our Blazor data grid, and in our form we are using a web view, and that web view is hosting our Blazor application. Let's go over to the code. All right, so here we have the form and the web view, and the web view will be hosting the Blazor application. You can see that in code because this is how that's being done. So this is all being generated from our template gallery.
Huh.
So some pretty cool stuff that is also being worked on from our side to make it easier for you to create all these kind of projects with all kinds of cool technology.
Yeah. But so that's available now on the Visual Studio Marketplace?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you go, if you search for it, the DevExpress template kit for Visual Studio, you will find this page, and you can just download it from here and see how it works.
What versions do you need to have installed to do that, Don?
Well, let's have a look. It should state here that it works with Visual Studio 2022, and This thing is built on 24.2 beta, I think. So that is what's gonna be used as well.
Okay.
And for the rest, yeah, you need to have .NET 8 or .NET 9. So more recent versions of the frameworks,
Of
basically.
everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, Don, is that it for this one?
Yeah, absolutely. And we have been talking slightly about authentication and authorization. Um, we'll be working on a couple of more scenarios with authentication and authorization in Blazor applications in an upcoming stream.
Oh, cool. All
Yep.
right. All right. Well, that is it for this one, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Nice to see you, Don. And we will see you next time. Bye bye.
Absolutely. Bye bye.